When you fight a non-boss enemy, like a hound or a spider in Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, music will play. This music varies depending on what season you happen to be in, and in some cases what location you are at, or even what you happen to be using. But which of these tracks are absolute bangers, and which ones would make you feel like you were better off listening to a tinnitus loop? Well, in today's video, we are going to figure that out. Of course, this video won't be structured like a regular tier list because we are ranking music, and unfortunately it's pretty hard to frame music into a picture for tier list purposes. So this will just be a ranking video instead, much like my last music ranking video where I ranked each of Don't Starve's work musics. Also, this video will only cover non-boss combat music, and we will be covering the world of Don't Starve Vanilla, Reign of Giants, Shipwrecked, Hamlet, and yes, the one you probably care about most, Don't Starve Together. With all that info out of the way, let's get into the fun part where we rank each and every one of Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together's non-boss combat music from worst to best. Now, the Ruins fight theme that can be heard in Don't Starve Vanilla, Reign of Giants, and Together is not a terrible theme at all, but man, it sounds way too goofy to be a fight theme in my opinion. Especially a fight theme in one of the scariest places in the entire game. Combining the ancient deep vocals with those goofy trumpet blasts is just such a strange sound decision to me. Maybe it's just a product of its time, but the Ruins fight theme is definitely not something I will go out of my way to listen to at all. So, this is probably a strange addition to the list, but it makes sense because it only happens in a combat scenario. That being when your ship is being raided by powder monkeys on the seas of Don't Starve Together. This track is probably the definition of repetitive. I mean, I know it's probably supposed to be annoying since the powder monkey raid is set up to be a nuisance event, but still, bad track. But at least it makes more sense than whatever they did to the Ruins track. I genuinely don't understand it. This right here is the autumn fight theme that plays in Don't Starve Vanilla and Reign of Giants. And honestly, we're getting into the hard to rank songs here because going forward I actually truly do enjoy every song that we will be ranking. That being said, the autumn track definitely is one of the most mild fight tracks in the game. It has the urgency that you want to hear in a fight track, but it lacks something that I just can't quite figure out. It's a great track, but a pretty mild one. This right here is the winter fight theme that plays in Don't Starve Vanilla, Reign of Giants, and Together. And originally I was going to rip on this theme because of how repetitive and annoying it can get, but much like its work music, it's just catchy for some reason. Like, if I ever get into a long winter fight, I will always find myself humming along to it, which is very weird since I don't actually like listening to the track without context because it feels way too harsh. Definitely an anomaly of a track, but a pretty good one nonetheless. Everyone who has ever been through the glory of a frog rain knows about the spring fight theme that plays in Don't Starve, Reign of Giants, and Together. Now, don't get me wrong, this theme is an amazing fight theme. It fits its season incredibly well, it's energetic, and has a true sense of urgency. However, much like spring's work music, it really does get annoying after some time of hearing it. Those of you who have suffered through frog rains understand that pain. So, this one was kind of a weird one to add to the list. Technically, there are a total of 3 autumn fight tracks that are exclusive to Don't Starve Together, but they all sound almost the same. So if anyone is interested, we are ranking Danger 1, not Danger 2 or 3. With that said, this track is obviously a clear upgrade to the old autumn fight track, with far more urgency and a lot of creative flair. In fact, maybe it has too much flair. Like, this could almost be a boss theme in my opinion, which is something you probably don't want in a generic combat track. That being said, however, it's still pretty darn good. This one was unbelievably hard to rank. the Humid Season theme from the Hamlet DLC. Now, this track is a certified banger. I mean, listen to this part right here. It's actually so good it gives me goosebumps. But the problem is, the track really doesn't feel like a fight track. If you think about it, this could really be a work theme, and honestly, I would even say I would prefer it to be a work theme, in my opinion. Unfortunately, even though it's an absolute banger of a track, I just don't think it works as a combat track. If we were ranking anything other than combat tracks, this one might have been on top, but it stays here. This right here is the Monsoon theme from the Shipwreck DLC. And while it's an amazing track and features my favorite instrument, the steel drums, it just takes too long to build up to me. I mean, the steel drum solo and the unbelievably epic climbing sound are amazing, but it truly just feels overshadowed by the other tracks on this list. This right here is another amazing theme. It is the mild theme from the Shipwreck DLC. However, it does suffer the same issue that Monsoon Season does. It just feels far too slow-paced to me. It's not like it's bad at all, don't get me wrong, but there are certainly better combat musics on this list. So, it unfortunately gets to go almost directly into the middle of this list. As a side note, I do like how the track builds up. It's actually quite epic. Now, the summer theme that plays in Don't Starve Reign of Giants and Together has a lot going for it. It fits the season well, it's fast-paced, it's energetic, really it's everything you want in a combat track. The only dislike that I have about the track is that the loop is relatively short, and probably it would end up getting annoying after some time. Okay guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, from here on out I actually have almost nothing bad to say about any of these tracks. They are all certified S-tier bangers to me. That being said, I am still going to try my hardest to pick accordingly. But know that there's only going to be positive words from here on out. And that also goes for the Dry Season fight theme from the Shipwreck DLC. It has some epic drums, a sound that fits its season, and it's overall incredibly enjoyable to listen to, even on a loop. The Ruins fight music walked so that the cave fight music from Don't Starve Vanilla, Reign of Giants, and Together could run. This track is seriously one of the best that you will hear underground, and it's really a shame that you switch from this epic track to the goofy trumpet one when you enter the ruins. I really wouldn't be sad if they just removed the Ruins fight theme entirely and replaced it with this. I mean, seriously, this one is epic, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. Remember when I said during my work music ranking video that Hurricane Season's work music was too slow and didn't fit the season properly? Well, this track does. I don't know how Vince DeVera and Jason Garner did it, but this theme actually feels fitting during a hurricane. It fits the season well, it's an absolute banger, overall it's just a great experience, albeit forgettable at times. Anyways, now it's time to get into our final 5, where we will get ever closer to finding the absolute best non-boss combat music, in my opinion, of course. But before we get to the final 5, let's do that thing where I get on my hands and knees and beg you to smash that like button and subscribe if you are not already. If you didn't already know, those are 2 absolutely free things you can do to support my channel alongside watching this video. And all of this support truly does mean a ton to me. You guys are super awesome, even if you hate me for my opinions. Speaking of that, by the way, since you made it this far into the video, be sure to leave a comment down below. Don't know what to leave? Well, you can either restructure this list into your own personal tier list, guess what the next 5 tracks will be in order, or even just comment a lotus emoji. The algorithm loves that stuff, so of course by affiliation, I also love that stuff. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get into the top 5 best non-boss combat tracks in all of the Don't Starve-averse. Yes, I just came up with that word. I wonder if that word's been said before. I don't know. So this is the soundtrack that will play while you are using the living artifact suit in Don't Starve. And the reason I included it is because, well, there's really no reason to use this suit besides combat. And man, does the soundtrack make you feel epic. If you think that it sounds like boss music, you would technically be right. This track is shared with the Iron Hulk boss from Hamlet as well. However, I feel like it fits the living artifact still and secures it a place in the top 5 because it just makes you feel so epic, dude. This right here is the Temperate theme from the Hamlet DLC of Don't Starve. And man, I have nothing but good things to say about it. It absolutely fits the season perfectly. It's surprisingly chaotic, which to those of you who have played Don't Starve Hamlet, you will understand, as temperate is not a good way to describe anything that happens in Hamlet. Also, it has some of the most variety of any of the fight tracks, going into a more calm melody near the middle before picking up again. I actually genuinely really like the synth sound that they added to most of the Hamlet themes, to be honest. They actually fit really, really well. That all being said, while Temperate's fight theme is a certified banger, it's still beaten narrowly by the next 3 on this list. This is the Were-Moose theme that plays when you go moose mode as Woody in Don't Starve Together. The reason I included this theme is because Woody's moose form is made for combat. And yes, I forgot to rank Woody's Werebeaver mode in the work video, since realistically you only do work as the beaver, but if I did, it would probably go near the better side of the middle. The moose theme, however, is insanely epic. Something about the deep horn blasts makes you truly feel like a walking tank. And with a fully skilled moose, you truly do become a walking tank. A great theme, but one that unfortunately falls short to the next 2 tracks. This is the theme that plays during the apocalypse in, you guessed it, Don't Starve Hamlet. And yeah, this theme is literally a perfect way to describe the event. The war drums start off menacing and escalate into a hopeless spiral. Seriously, this track fits the event so well and is actually such a banger, and trust me, if you live to see the apocalypse, you will be hearing this track a lot. The vampire bats and heralds will make sure of that. But now, the time you've probably been waiting for, the #1 non-boss combat track in all of Don't Starve. Drumroll, please. Wilba Mains Unite. This is the track that plays when you enter Werepig mode as Wilba. And my goodness, is this track an absolute amazing one. It's so chaotic, so energetic. It's really one of the best parts about playing as Wilba, and by connection, Werewilba. Not just that, but Werewilba is an absolute beast and can shred almost any enemy with ease. Putting this soundtrack on top of that gives you a match made in heaven. It's also another track that has lots of variation, but to me, this track's variation hits different in a good way. You have instant chaos, a small interlude, then right back into chaos again. Truly, a masterpiece. So, this is awkward. It dawned on me far too late that I somehow forgot to include Lush Season's fight track in this list. I'm really not sure how I did that. I'm going to blame it on the fact that I was severely ill while writing this script. Anyways, I feel like Lush Season would go in between the Living Artifact and Temperate Season. It's not quite as good as Temperate Season, but I love the urgency that it gives. It almost sounds like an alarm, which personally to me is cool as a fight theme. And there you have it. I have just ranked all 18 of Don't Starve's non-boss combat themes from worst to best. Again, if you like the video, the best ways you can support are by leaving a like, subscribing if you are not already, and leaving a comment. And hey, YouTube thinks you would like this video, so head over there and tell me in the comments there if it was right or not. This has been Polarlotus, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.